Another catastrophe in New York. And, you know what? I'm going to blame Mamdani for it. It's not entirely his fault. After all, he was elected by people who want to see New York reduced to rubble, and they've been wanting that since before Mamdani was elected. He's just running on the principles that he thinks will get him elected, which is, well, I think we know what it is, but in general, but specifically at this exact moment in time, it is the disruption of any kind of justice system, getting rid of the police, getting rid of the prisons, and replacing them all with mental health. Because, of course, the police institution that's racist. Black people don't commit more crimes than other people. It's just that the white supremacists have been arresting them more often, right? And arresting white people less. The prisons, they're filled with black people because of racism, of course. So here we have a story of Ramel Burke. He was picked up by the police at middle of the afternoon sometime because he had pulled a stick from the garbage and held it as he approached officers. I don't know why there was a stick in the garbage to begin with, but he got a stick out of the garbage and he walked towards police officers with it. The police officers diffused the situation, as they put it, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, and they took him to a hospital. Yeah. A man walks towards the police with a stick, and their response is to take him to a hospital. Of course it is. So they took him to Bellevue Hospital in their police cruiser because the police, I mean, they certainly have better things to do in New York. In fact, they had a better thing to do right now at this exact moment. But because in the USA, especially in places like New York, the people in control are trying to bind the hands of the police officers, trying to ball gag them, trying to chain and shackle their feet to the floor and keep them from doing anything useful, trying to totally neuter the police force, the justice system, well, they couldn't do anything besides take him to the hospital for mental health. An hour later, I believe, they released him after a psychiatric evaluation that said he was totally fine, I guess. And then 4 or 5 hours after he was released from the hospital, he shoved a 76-year-old man, Ross Falzone, down a flight of stairs to a subway for no reason whatsoever. The man suffered immense spinal and brain trauma and did not survive. I mean, it's like it's comical, really. Like, you had a man pull a stick out of the garbage, approach the police officers, the police disallowed to do anything meaningful, their jobs having no value whatsoever, seemingly less value than the trashmen even, because, well, at least they're putting sticks in the garbage. I mean, God, you must have nothing better to do with your life if you're picking up sticks and putting them in the garbage. And they take him to a hospital, psychiatric evaluation. An hour later, they let him out. A few hours later, he commits a murder by shoving someone down a flight of stairs for no reason whatsoever. Totally unprovoked. There were multiple witnesses who saw it. And this is the solution, everybody. That people who have the correct skin color or are in the correct area at least, or maybe the correct religion or whatever, the correct gender identity, whatever it is. It's not racist, it's not sexist, it's not some sort of phobia. It is a derangement of tolerance. It is the liberal mindset that is destroying us. Not any one thing. Well, okay, it is one thing. Liberalism is I mean, technically liberalism is a bunch of things kind of tied into one, but let's just blame it all on liberals. Kind of like we blame the French for everything. And really, liberalism more or less comes from France. So, you know, at the end of it, we can still blame France for everything. And that is what's happened here. The sister quoted saying he wouldn't hurt anybody. He was a bag of bones. He's not even 100 pounds. She's still using the present tense because she couldn't. I guess she just didn't really grasp that her brother had passed away. Passed away. He was murdered in. I say cold blood, but the guy. I mean, I legitimately think this dude was probably insane. But the problem is that, let's going on to the rest of the quote. There's no amount of anger that we can express and shock. No, I'm actually not shocked, but I agree with the first part. She will say this in the video. This is the man here.
32-year-old Ramel Burke is an example of just how ineffective the so-called system can be. He's charged tonight with killing an elderly man. But before that, he was arrested for assaulting a Port Authority police officer, burglary, and assaulting a stranger.
February 2nd, February 14th, April 2nd, and according to the lady earlier in the video, he actually had 4 prior arrests. This year, mind you, that's February 2nd, February 14th, April 2nd. This is this year. This guy has 4 arrests this year. And this is either the 4th or this is a 5th on top of that. I'm not sure of the chronology here because there's not a 4th one listed, but the lady earlier did say he had 4. How is this not being dealt with? Like, again, the guy got a stick out of the trash can and walked towards the cops. Like, come on. At that point, you take him to jail and figure something out. Like, you need more than taking him to the hospital for an hour. They're just going to run him in and out of that place, which is literally what they did. And now someone is dead as a result of that.
He was given a supervised release by the judge. On Thursday night, Burke
That was assault, by the way, wasn't it? He was given a supervised release for assaulting a stranger on April 2nd.
Judge. On Thursday night, Burke allegedly assaulted another stranger, shoving Ross Falzone down a flight of stairs at a Chelsea subway station. The 76-year-old died after suffering a traumatic brain injury and fractured spine.
Why? Why did the judge let them out? Why did the cops fail to arrest them? Why did the hospital let them out? Every single aspect of this machine of society that we've built, something that was built and it was never perfected. It can never be perfected because humans are a failing aspect of this machine. But it was operating quite well, I would say. Like, especially for a big city. I mean, again, in a big city, there's only so well it can do. There's so many moving parts. There's so many parts that can fail. There's so many humans there. But I think for what it was operating pretty well. And then that high trust society, that well-oiled machine, it's all coming crumbling down. God, liberals, man.
Sister spoke with our Crystal Cranmore by phone.
To find out your brother's minding his own business, 3 witnesses, and pushed down the steps and left for dead. There's not amount of anger that we can express. He wouldn't hurt anybody. He's a bag of bones. He's not even 100 pounds.
Hours before the suspect allegedly pushed that 76-year-old man to his death, he was taken here to Bellevue Hospital by police officers who found him acting erratically outside the 17th precinct. The man was taken in for a psych evaluation, but he was released just an hour later. The victim he'd later attack ended up dying here at the very same hospital. When the question usually is, how could this have been prevented? Tonight the question is, how was this not prevented?
Yes, very well said. The question is, how was it not prevented? Of course, we know the answer to that, but let's just go ahead and let Mamdani say what he's going to say.
The mayor of New York City is posing that same question to Bellevue tonight, writing,
I'm going to read this myself because I'm going to interject on this guy a lot if I let him speak. Mamdani's response was, I am horrified by the killing of Ross Falzone. Really? New Yorkers deserve answers. That's copy paste there. Did you say that like how many times a day do you think he has to say that? That is why I've directed NYC Health Plus hospitals to conduct both an immediate investigation on what steps have been taken, should have been taken to prevent this tragedy, and a comprehensive review of their psychiatric evaluation and discharge protocols. This is the man who is in charge of getting rid of all the police and the prisons and creating mental health institutions, which he is quite proud of. He's proud to talk about the 150, 200 beds that he's establishing from these places that they're being built up, and it's like, well, you're getting rid of Rikers Island, though. That's got like 10,000 people there, and you're replacing it with a few hundred beds in an ICU or like a mental institution or whatever. Like, what are you talking about? You are why it's happening. People like this are why it's happening. The people who elected Mamdani, they are why this is happening. And they will continue to have this suffer to them. The only way they can escape it is really just by leaving New York. I mean, at this point, either the federal government steps in and does something with the National Guard or ICE or like just full bore, all, like Minnesota 2.0. It would be worse than Minnesota, I'm sure, in New York. Or you just leave Minnesota. You just leave New York and let it just let the wolves have it. Let the barbarians destroy it, turn it to rubble. Maybe once they've finished with it, we can finally come to the conclusion that it was a bad idea, that it was a bad idea to let them have LA, that it was a bad idea to let them have Atlanta, that it's a bad idea to let them have anywhere, because these people, the liberals, whatever they are, whatever shape they take, black, white, male, female, Islam, Christian, like whoever they pretend to be, anyone who's using the excuse of liberalism to allow themselves to ruin the world around them, whatever element that may take, whatever it's brainwashing their children or pushing someone down a flight of stairs or getting someone out of some sort of institution, destroying the prisons, any aspect of it, it's all derived from the same place, the same mental derangement. And you can see it right there on your screen. This is just someone who thinks that they can scream well, he probably doesn't actually think that. A lot of politicians just say whatever they say to get in power, but he was elected, at least, by people who think that you can just shout mental health in someone's face and that will cure them, that will expunge the demons from them, that we are all the same deep down inside. We're all the same, and all you have to do is treat other people like you want to be treated, and that's going to result in them not pushing you down a flight of stairs unprovoked and breaking your spine and causing traumatic brain injury. Well, they were wrong. We are not all the same. There are plenty of people who are truly mentally deranged, honestly, literally insane, and then there are people who are just stupid, savages, mean, hateful, whatever. There are people who will just attack you because they don't see any possible way for them to suffer the repercussions, or they just don't care about the repercussions of their actions. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care that they go to prison. They don't care. It's intolerable. And there is a way to fix that. It's by having actual laws with real punishments. And you know what? There is one thing Mamdani was right about, the people who elected him, that they were right about. Rikers Island wasn't actually fixing anything. They need harsher punishments. They decided to go for no punishments. We'll see how that turns out. I mean, we sort of already know. We're looking at it right now. With the death of Ross Falzone, a 76-year-old man who was attacked unprovoked. His life, according to his sister, he worked in special education before he retired. Seems like he was a decent guy. At the very least, he wasn't in prison. I mean, I guess that's not really saying much in New York. No one is, but it seems like this isn't the kind of place I would want to live. So if I was in New York, I would suggest getting out because, I don't know, you want to be shoved down 18 steps, concrete steps, and have your body shattered upon impact without even caring that there are witnesses watching them do it, without even caring that there are cameras watching them do it. Is that where you want to live? Is that the land of the free? Is that the definition of free? Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please do the YouTube things.